everyone, welcome to another video. So these types of videos are so much fun to create. You know, I'm always on the hunt for a great drugstore alternative to higher end makeup. And I think the 5 products I'm showing you today are a great alternative. I think the term dupe is thrown around a lot. I actually prefer to say makeup alternative or beauty alternative. Sometimes it's hard for me to find the exact shade that's comparable to the high-end product. But what I usually prefer to do is look at the overall picture of how well does it perform? How is it comparable to that higher end brand? Is the consistency the same? What is the end result going to look like on my face? But at the end of the day, these products are going to be much more affordable than the higher end products I'm going to show you. So we're just going to jump right into it. So 3 of the 5 products I am actually wearing on my face today. I'm not going to tell you which side is which, but one side is high-end, one side is drugstore. This is not a full face by any means. These are just some products that I came across, and you guys really seem to enjoy the last video that I did that was similar to this. So I recently came across 5 products that I think you'll really enjoy. And also, I haven't seen a lot of people talking about these. One of the products is a tool. And then the 5th product, I didn't want it interfering with some of the other products that I have on. So I will show you that to you separately. And then you'll see why I just couldn't wear it on my face today. So we're going to first start off with a complexion product. Now, I'm sure a few of you have seen alternative to Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. And the common one, and I actually had it, I think, in another dupe video that I did, is the e.l.f. Liquid Halo Glow Filter. So I've seen so many people talk about this one on channels, and that's kind of the go-to. But I think I found a different comparable product to the Charlotte Tilbury. And this one actually has been around for a while. I've had it on my channel a few times. And it wasn't until I was using it one day and I was like looking at how it looked on my face, and I'm like, I think this is actually very similar to the Charlotte Tilbury. So what I'm talking about is the Maybelline Perfector 4-in-1 Glow Makeup. I have this one in the shade 01 Light. I'll give it away now because we're going to get started with the actual showing of the products. Have you guys guessed which side is the high end and which is the drugstore? If you guessed, my left side is the high-end products and my right side is the drugstore. So I'll insert a little bit of B-roll as we're going through here, and I'll show you how I applied it onto my face. I did use separate brushes to apply it. You can apply it with your fingers if you want. It is a very light coverage. I actually just prefer to use a brush, and I think I get a little bit more. It evens out my skin tone a little bit better. So what both of these products are going to do, they're giving a radiant glow to the skin. I find it really does enhance the radiance, the glowiness. They are both more of a sheer coverage, but give a nice, gorgeous, luminous finish to the skin. And one of the best things is they are both multi-purpose products. So each of them, you can use them under your foundation to give a bit of glowiness. You can use them as a highlighter, or if you just want to have a nice glow that day, you can just wear it alone and not wear any foundation at all. Now the price difference is quite staggering for this product. So the Charlotte Tilbury ranges, I think that, well, you can get little travel type sizes. So those are obviously going to be a little bit cheaper. I think those are about $26. But the full size is running around $66 Canadian now. Like, that is unbelievable. The Maybelline, you can get on sale for around $16, $17. So that is just phenomenal. A little bit more about the Maybelline product. This is actually very multitasking as well. So you can use this one as a primer, a concealer, a highlighter, as I mentioned, but also a BB cream. You can see it gives a very glowy coverage. This one also does have hyaluronic acid, shea butter in it. Now I will show you the application differences. So the Maybelline is like a giant sponge tip applicator, much similar to their Age Rewind concealer. So all you do is you twist up. That brings the product up. So the shade difference is, yes, going to be a little bit different. The Charlotte Tilbury is in the shade 3. Charlotte Tilbury is this one here. And then that is the Maybelline. But you can see on my hand how it is giving that beautiful, lovely, glowy radiance. The Charlotte Tilbury, yes, it has a little bit more glowiness to it. But the fact that the Maybelline is so much more of an inclusive product. And then when you actually rub them in, so I'm just rubbing in the Maybelline right now. And then this is the Charlotte. You can see, like, once they're rubbed in, you really can't see the difference. So I was happy to share with you a different alternative rather than the e.l.f. Halo Glow all the time. Now the next product is a tool that I found for the much loved BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy, the Kitten Paw brush. So this is like a holy grail brush for me. I absolutely love all of their brushes. They are amazing. A great alternative one that I found is by Real Techniques. Now it does look a little bit different, but it is just a great affordable alternative for you guys. Now the BK Beauty, you can see it has a little bit more denseness to it and a little bit more plush, whereas the Real Techniques is more of a flared look to it. Bring them a little bit closer so you can see them. And it's a little bit more rounded. I find the Real Technique one is great for almost like a brightening effect, but it gives great coverage. Concealer Today that I'm very, very familiar with. So I just wanted to make sure that you guys could see that there's virtually no difference in application on both sides. So I applied the Lancome Tint Idel Ultra Wear Concealer and used the Real Techniques on this side and the BK Beauty on this side. These are both cruelty-free brands. They both are great for applying cream or liquid concealers. I mean, I'll be honest, the BK Beauty one feels a little bit more luxurious as you're applying it, but I think the Real Technique one is just a real solid performer. It's affordable, easy to find. You can just pop in at the drugstore. And it's one of those ones that's just great for everyday use. The handle is really comfortable. And I just like how it applied the concealer under my eyes. So another great drugstore alternative for you. So this next product, I was actually quite shocked when I was applying the one high-end product one day. And I was like, I think this is very comparable to my other drugstore version. So I'm talking about the Blush and Bronzer Cheek Duo by Stila. Okay, so this is a dual-ended product. It has a bronzer on this side and a blush on this side. Now, this is one of the products that the shade is not going to be exact, but the drugstore version, if you already probably guessed it because I've just had it on my channel recently, is the one by Physicians Formula. This is the Butter Glow and Go stick. Now, what you'll first notice by the shade is this one is much more cool toned, which is more flattering on my skin tone. Physicians Formula also has several different shades of this. There is one in particular that I think would be very comparable shade-wise to especially the blush, which is called Sunkissed Rose. So I think that would be, like I said, I think that would be more comparable. So I will swatch these for you. So I first applied the contour. It is a contour stick. I always use my contour sticks as bronzers. What I was really blown away by is the formula. So comparable. Okay, so this one here, this is the Stila, and this is the Physicians Formula. Okay, so like I said, the shade is just a little bit off for the bronzer, but you can hopefully see the actual formula, how well they look together. They both blend out super easy, very, very easy to apply. And that's the other thing is longevity. I want to make sure that these are products that I'm showing you that have that same quality of lasting all day, not fading. So they both, obviously you can see they're both dual-ended. I'll say the Stila gives, I guess, more of like a dewy or like a glass skin effect. But if you see them on my face, I mean, honestly, can you tell the difference? I know this one probably looks a little bit pinker over here because this is more of a coral, I guess, shade. Oh, I did forget to tell you. So the Stila is grapefruit and caramel. So the grapefruit is the blush, caramel is the bronzer. And then this one I have in the shade for the Physicians Formula is beachy pink. So that's why the blush is a little bit more pinker. But like I was saying, the Stila I think is more of a glassy skin, dewy kind of look. Whereas the Physicians Formula is satiny, very, very natural look. But I think that they're both sheer to buildable. Like you can definitely build them up. Now an added bonus with the Physicians Formula is you can also add this to your eyes or your lips. It's just not a cheek product. Whereas this one, I would just kind of stick to the cheeks. It's not really designed for lips and eyes. I mean, you can certainly go ahead and do that, but that it is more of like a cheek look. They are both great for travel, but again, the price difference is quite a difference. So this one runs, the Stila, I think runs upwards of like $45, whereas the Physicians Formula, I think the last time I saw it was on sale for like $16 or $17. But what you're getting for this, like this product is going to last me quite a while. It's great for some little touch-ups that you have as well. You can just throw this in your purse, and if you want to touch up things throughout the day, your lips, your eyes, that sort of thing. And I just realized I didn't show you the shade of the blush before I was going to move on here. So this is the one where I said, okay, don't look at the blush shade because it is not the same. But the formula, you can clearly see how satiny the formula looks. Okay, so this one here, that's the Stila. Like I said, it's more of a corally shade. And then that's the Physicians Formula, which you can see is quite pink. Hopefully you can see how luminous it looks. And then blends in very, very easily. Very creamy. Now, the next product that I'm going to show you, I'm curious if you could tell, because I am wearing it on my face today, that I was actually wearing two different lipsticks. When I first came across this one, I was like, holy smokes, this is amazing because I can't even see the difference. I had to keep stuff on either side of my table here because I'm like, I'm going to get confused because I actually can't tell what is drugstore and what is high-end. So I'm sure so many of you have seen lots of dupes about the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lipstick. It is iconic, but so expensive for a lipstick. Oh my goodness. Well, the one that I have found that I think is simply amazing, and I'm going to come a little closer so you can see how well they work together. So keep in mind, this is the Charlotte Tilbury over here. This is the Pillow Talk. I did half my lip. So which brand do you think is on this side? It's by Revlon. So this is the Revlon Lustrous Lipstick, but it's the shade Flushed. Now talk about a price difference. So the Charlotte Tilbury one, and yes, it's beautiful. It's a gorgeous packaging. Like I can't take away that from it. It is gorgeous. But Charlotte Tilbury, she just has some really expensive products. So this one is roughly about $35 Canadian, whereas the Revlon you could probably get for like $8 on sale. As I'm looking in the mirror, I honest to goodness can't see the difference. Like what an amazing, this one I actually will call a dupe because this one is really very, very similar. And all these products I'm showing you today, I think are amazing for us mature ladies, especially the cream and liquid type of products. I'm always thinking about that as well. What products work well on our over 50 skin? So a few comparisons with the Charlotte Tilbury and the Revlon. So the Charlotte Tilbury one is a little bit more matte, but it isn't a drying lipstick. It's very comfortable. Whereas the Revlon is a little bit more creamier and hydrating on the lips, a little bit more moisturizing. You can see that there is like a slight shade difference, but once it's applied, like you can see, virtually no difference. Okay, so that's the Charlotte Tilbury one there. So I'm gonna say it's more of a pinky nude, whereas the Revlon is more of a rosier pink and has a pop of color to it. But hopefully you can even see on my hand how just the Revlon has a little bit more shininess to it. The Charlotte Tilbury is going to be more of a warmer shade, whereas this is definitely more cool. But if you're looking for something that is much more affordable, easy on the wallet, and just a hint more creamier, then definitely I will recommend the Revlon. All right, the fifth product I couldn't put on today because it would have interfered with my lip product. But I am very, very excited that I was able to get the drugstore version of it because it has gone viral. It is sold out wherever I have gone to try and find it. So what I'm talking about is the Summer Fridays. This is the Lip Butter Balm. This is in Vanilla Beige. But the viral one, it just came to Canada. I think that's where everybody's just run to the drugstore to try and get it, is the one by e.l.f. This is the Glow Reviver Melting Lip Balm. This is the shade Vanilla Toffee. So they both come very, very similar. That's what they look like. So the e.l.f. one is buttery and very lightweight. Whereas the Summer Fridays, it is a little bit more of a richer, like a creamier consistency. The e.l.f. is more glossy and gives more of a little bit of a tint to the lip. And the Summer Fridays feels very smooth, but I find it's a little bit more sheer. The e.l.f. one, I'm going to say, is if it smells more fruitier, whereas the Summer Friday is a little bit more sweeter, vanilla kind of scent. But I was blown away how these compare. Like, they are identical. Okay, so the darker one, that is the e.l.f. And you can see how it is going to give you more of a tint on the lip. And that's the Summer Friday. So I think the e.l.f., your lips are going to look more juicy with high shine. And I think it's a great alternative if you want to just layer it on or build it up. You don't really have to wear anything underneath it. Whereas the Summer Friday one, more thicker, but it doesn't leave as much of a tint as the e.l.f. one does. The e.l.f. has hyaluronic acid, shea butter, cocoa, and mango butter. The Summer Friday one has shea mirror butter and also vitamin E. They are both cruelty-free, but the price difference, again, is basically like well over half. I think the Summer Friday one is about $30 or so Canadian. And the e.l.f. one, I was able to pick up for about $10. But if you can get your hands on them, I think you'll really, really like it. So I hope you found this video helpful. And let me know if you do go and try some of these makeup alternatives. Or even leave me a comment and let me know some of your dupes that you have. Don't forget to check out my last video that I did. If you haven't already, I had some amazing comparable items in there as well. All the products that I used today will be linked and listed down below in the description box. And as always, I hope everybody has a great week and a great life, and I'll see you all very soon in my next video. Bye!